Welcome back to HQ Spotlight, taking you back to the NFL. We are targeting the AFC East, in this segment. Taking a look at Week 1 matchups. We're going to try to find out when these teams are going to lose. As you set the stage here, we get the rematch there between the Steelers and the Jets. The Dolphins are going to travel to take on Daniel Jones and the Colts. Meanwhile, the Raiders host the Patriots. And what a showdown we get for Sunday Night Football. Ravens at Bills. Curious to see who wins that one. So let's bring in a former AFC East running back in Damien Harris, who knows a thing or two about these teams. Damien, we're going to kind of go through the schedule here. You're going to tell us the first loss for each team. And we're going to start with the Bills because I feel like this is a very slippery slope here. They opened the season, as we just saw, against the Ravens. It's a divisional rematch. Is that a win for Josh Allen, or are you giving that one to the Ravens?
You know, Haley, I had to think long and hard about this one, but I'm going to have to give it to the Ravens. I'm going to tell you a couple reasons why. For the Bills to have not won a Super Bowl last year, they've all of a sudden become America's team. Everybody's happy. Josh Allen just got married. He won MVP. Everybody's getting paid. The new stadium is about to open up. Like, everything is going right in Buffalo, so we see, right? But there's a couple things that are flying under the radar. One, most importantly, your wide receiver one, Khalil Shakir, has missed almost all of training camp due to an injury and high ankle sprain. So your next up is Keon Coleman, who's a guy that has a lot of ability, but we didn't see but glimpses and flashes from last season. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball, in the secondary, outside of Christian Benford, they don't have a true cornerback two. And even looking back at the safety position, Cole Bishop, a guy that was supposed to be the starter for this season, he's been playing more and more time in the preseason, and I think it's because he's been underperforming. They're looking to get a little bit more out of him. I even go back to the offensive side of the ball again to talk about another pass catcher, and Dalton Kincaid, your first-round pick, your tight end. He's another good player that's got a lot of ability, but it doesn't seem like he's taken that next step yet. Now, then when you look at Baltimore Ravens and them coming into town, you have to imagine the bad blood and the bad taste that was left in their mouth when a chance for an AFC Championship game opportunity literally slipped through their hands. Not to mention, Lamar Jackson had arguably one of the most complete seasons statistically as a quarterback, one of the most impressive seasons, and yet he did not win MVP. It went to Mr. Josh Allen, who he will be facing off against Week 1. So if you tell me that this Baltimore Ravens team is not going to be full of motivation and pumped up to play this game Week 1, you're out of your mind. So I like the Ravens to take Sunday Night Football Week 1.
A little bulletin board material there for Baltimore. We'll be interested to see how that affects the rest of the season as well for the Bills too. But let's go over and talk about the Jets, because we know their Week 1 opener is going to be a fun one. A lot of revenge in that matchup, Damien. You've got one former cornerback taking on his former team, vice versa here. But when it comes to the schedule, it's interesting, right? They're going to open with the Steelers and they get the Bills in Week 2. Where are you seeing the loss here for the Jets?
Well, I have to add, Haley, the Jets do not get a favorable schedule the first couple weeks of the season. I mean, you look at the Steelers, you look at the Bills, those are two blue-collar, tough, gritty football teams that are just going to pound on you and make you prove that you're worthy of being in the NFL. But I don't know if the Jets make it past Week 1. Listen, I know that Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields are essentially just swapping places, so a lot of people are interested to see how that's going to fit for their new respective organizations. But I just trust the Pittsburgh Steelers more. I trust the coaching staff more. I trust their quarterback room more. I trust their wide receiver room more, their defense more. I just trust the Pittsburgh Steelers more. This is a team under Mike Tomlin. They have not missed the playoffs. They do not have losing seasons. And every year they just come out and they look like the same Steelers team. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's determined by the fact of if you're a Steelers fan or not. But at the end of the day, this is a team full of consistency. They've got great players. They went out and they got Jonnu Smith, tight end from Miami. They went out and got Jalen Ramsey, cornerback 1. I mean, they really did a good job of surrounding an older Aaron Rodgers with talent, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well. They drafted well. And again, they just seem like the more complete team. From what I've seen from the Jets, they have a lot of things going their way, head coach-wise, playing-wise. They got a lot of upward momentum, if you would say, but I just still do not trust Justin Fields throwing the football. He has not shown me enough. He hasn't shown me the accuracy, the ability to read defenses, the ability to get off of his first read and get to a second and third progression. So for that reason, I think the Jets go down Week 1 against the Steelers.
Week 1, Steelers-Jets, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. I know a lot of eyes are going to be on that matchup for all the reasons you just laid out. Let's come down to my neck of the woods here, Damien, in South Florida. Things are feeling very bleak for the Dolphins. The injuries are stacking up. The star Packer is lacking, and now the seat feels hotter every single day for Mike McDaniel. As we've been talking about all show, they're going to open up the season at Indianapolis. Feels like a good opportunity to set the tone, but then you look at week 2, week 3, week 4. They're going to face all of their divisional opponents within the first 4 weeks here. Where are you seeing the loss? And I'm gonna take a guess that I know where it is here.
Well, I wouldn't be a true New England Patriot if I didn't think that the Patriots were gonna squish the fish in week 2. But here's what I'll say. And there's a lot of X's and O's that you can point at. These are two teams that have a lot of unknown and a lot of unproven commodities. But what I will say from a structural standpoint, from a foundational standpoint, Miami doesn't have the blueprint. They don't have the top to bottom organizational competence that the New England Patriots have always had, but especially now that they've got Mike Vrabel, a former New England Patriot, back as the head coach. And I think that's why it's hard to trust Miami. You never know what you're going to get. Are you going to get the good Tua? Or are you going to get the bad Tua? Or are you going to get a Tua that's going to be hurt? What game plan are you going to get from Mike McDaniels? I know if I'm a Miami fan, I'm always curious going into each season what our team is going to look like. And I don't think this year is any different. And now switching lanes to the New England Patriots, this is going to be a team that surprises people, Haley. It's going to be a team that's going to play well offensively. They're going to have good quarterback play. When you pair Drake May with Josh McDaniels, they're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to play good defense. And I'm telling you, this young running back, Travion Henderson, is going to make a hell of a difference in a lot of football games. Just wait and watch for these New England Patriots this year.
Of course, you are so high on your New England Patriots. Okay, so we are seeing,
of course, right?
We're seeing a win for the Patriots week 2 against the Dolphins. So that leads me, of course, to my next question as we continue the conversation about your Patriots. They're going to host the Raiders week 1, and then the Steelers come back into our conversation here. So you believe in the Steelers more when it comes to the Jets matchup. How are you feeling about the Patriots and when their first loss is coming?
Well, Haley. I think being so high on the New England Patriots, I have to say they're going to start the season 4-0. I think they take down the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this DK Metcalf matchup versus Gonzo is going to feed families. I think this is going to be an ugly game. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I'm going to take the Patriots, and I'm absolutely taking the under because, again, this is two really talented blue-collar teams. Again, you're not necessarily sure what you're going to get at the quarterback position. This is Drake May's first year with Josh McDaniels, so we'll hope that he can help him run this offense and get the ball to his playmakers. But then you look at the Steelers. Of course, everybody's sitting here saying, well, they've got Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Well, let's not forget Aaron Rodgers is very, very seasoned, Haley. He's seasoned. I won't call him old. He is seasoned. So we don't know if the arm is still there. We don't know if the mobility is still there or the ability to make those plays. But mark my words, this is going to be one of the best games early in the season. It's going to be really fun to watch. And again, I'm taking the Patriots, and I'm definitely taking the under in this one.
I wrote down slobber knocker here so that when we get to recap the game, we're going to refer to it as a slobber knocker. Damien,
Right.
Love the conversation. Hang out. We're going to do it all over again in just a minute as we leave you with the odds to win the AFC East. Of course, it is the Bills world, and we are all just chasing Buffalo. But Damien's Patriots, look at this. They have shot up the odds as the offseason has gone along. You can find them at plus 550, second shortest in the AFC East. The tides are certainly turning in that division.